Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Andres Velazquez. I am a broker associate in the Bergen County market. And if you're watching this, you might be a real estate agent, you might be a broker who I've already spoken to. And I'm here to talk to you guys about how I would love to add to your business this year in 2023 so I can help you grow it to greater heights. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with what I'm here to tell you about, it's particularly a lead gen program that I started using during the time of like the pandemic, because as we all remember, inventory was dropping substantially, and we were all working with buyers who were submitting offers on properties that had 30 other offers on it, and it seemed almost sort of help. We felt helpless. I felt helpless, and I wanted to start working with sellers because otherwise I felt like my business was not going to be able to sustain itself. And so I started working with a company called Zbuyer. Now, if you're not familiar with Zbuyer, you can go ahead and type them in your open up a new tab and type them into your URL. It's called Zbuyer, the letter Z, buyer.com. Now, I know in the name itself, it implies buyer, but it's not exclusive to buyers. I only work with sellers from Zbuyer. They generate both buyer and seller leads. And the reason why I think Zbuyer is such a great asset and I think could help you in your business is because really for several reasons, right? Zbuyer, their cost per lead is substantially lower than what you would pay for, let's say, like a Zillow.com or a Realtor.com lead. They're much lower. Now, there's a couple reasons why that is. The first reason being that Zbuyer does, the one caveat to it, they do share the lead. So the lead is shared amongst 5 other real estate professionals in that area, whether they're real estate agents or they're maybe an investor. Most of the time they are agents, though. They share that lead with 4 other realtors, including yourself. So I guess it would be 5 altogether. And if that immediately makes you think, well, I don't want to work with a lead gen program that shares leads, well, I'm sure you understand that we're in a business that requires us to be competitive and go up against other agents on a consistent basis, which means that if we have more opportunities at bat, and we also know that there are tons of agents out there who pay for programs that then they never end up calling these leads, or they never end up following up, or they call them once and they think, okay, well, that lead is dead. If you're not of that mindset, then you can have way more success than agents who do have that mindset. And I'm sure you can list at least 3 agents in your office right now who invest money into different business structures, different lead gen platforms, different CRMs, and then yet they still don't take full advantage of those systems. If you're not of that mindset, if you don't fit that mold, then again, you're going to see that you have much more success in being able to do that, which is converting these leads into listings. Now, like I mentioned, the cost per lead is much lower. I believe it's about, per seller lead, it's about $20, less than $20 per lead, depending on which county you're in. There's only a finite number of leads, so they don't go over, I believe they don't go over 5 agents per county. So it's not like you're going to be sharing it amongst 10 or 15 other agents. There is a maximum or a cutoff for it. And really, I think about it in this way. A lot of agents nowadays are paying for Zillow and Realtor.com, but when you're working with seller leads, it's a whole different ballgame for several reasons. Well, if you're working with a seller lead, your floor for your payout on your commission is at least 2.5%. At least 2.5%. And then if you're a strong negotiator, you can obviously charge more money or make more money, maybe 3.5%, maybe more. I don't know. If you're a very skilled negotiator, you can make more than 3.5%. But on the buy side, which is typically what Zillow and Realtor.com offer, they offer you buyer leads. In my area, for instance, buyers agents typically get paid somewhere between 2 to 2.5%. So your ceiling is 2.5% working with a Zillow or a Realtor.com lead, but with a Zbuyer lead, your floor is 2.5% and then some. You can make much more money if you end up charging a higher commission, or you rearrange the commission splits. Maybe you get a 5% listing and you pay out 2.25 and you take 2.75. It could be a whole different ballgame for you altogether just with your business. Now, I want to talk about conversion because that's another very important part. Based on the conversion that I've had, I convert roughly about the same as far as like what people do with realtor.com and Zillow leads. Now, depending on how skilled of a person you are, maybe you have more success because you have better lines to be able to convert buyers and set up the appointments. But on average, Zillow and realtor.com pretty much average somewhere between 3 to, let's say, on the top end, 5% conversion. Me, for instance, my personal experience is I'm close to that 5% with Zbuyer. But going back to the point I made earlier, if I'm converting at 5% with Zbuyer and I'm generating a listing, which feeds me in so many other ways than just a buyer would, with a listing, I can prospect that area. I can send out mailers in that area. I can send out direct mail in that area. I can generate buyers from an open house with that area. With a buyer, you only really get fed one way, and that's from that closing. But with a seller, you can get paid a whole bunch of different ways. This is a great platform to use for any agent, whether it's a veteran agent who maybe does 10, 15, 20 million a year plus in production. Imagine just adding to that, adding another 5 to 10 million in your business. What if you're an agent who is looking to find a way to get your foot in the door with getting listing appointments, just so that you become more familiar with the certain objections, what to say, what not to say? This is the best platform to do it. And now, if you're wondering, well, what is there something that you can do? Can you help me out? Yes, I absolutely can. If you're a broker who's watching this, I'm offering this service to you guys as a free presentation where I'm going to coach you. Select the number of agents that you want in your office. If you're an agent, you can just reach out to me directly. But as a broker, if you're watching this, I want to train and coach at least a handful of agents in your office who you know would not only be serious about doing this, but at the same time would find it interesting, would be intrigued at least to know a little bit more about it. I will give a free class. It would probably last maybe no more than 2 hours, but I would give a free class on how I convert the leads. And now whether or not they want to go ahead and move forward with the ideas that I have in mind, maybe cherry pick a few of the really good ideas that they like, and then they're going to implement their own system. That's absolutely fine. I don't care how they go about it, but I want to make sure that whoever signs up for this program is successful. Now, I know a lot of you are now puzzled and kind of wondering, well, what do you get out of this? Well, my expectation is that if I get you to subscribe, I am an affiliate partner. I do get a referral for every person that I get to subscribe. Now, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but it is a month-to-month agreement. If I hadn't mentioned it earlier, I'm letting you know now. It's a month-to-month agreement, meaning you don't have to commit long-term. That's one of the reasons why I joined, was because I was worried, because there's so many lead gen platforms. I'm sure we get calls all the time where a lead gen platform is calling us saying, oh, I can generate X number of leads and you can get these listings and blah, blah, blah. And then lo and behold, they don't work, or they're not the people that they say they are, which is another really great thing about Zbuyer. If it's not the person that they claim to be, you can ask for the lead to be replenished, and it will be replenished at zero cost to you. So, I mean, replenishing leads, awesome. Cost per lead, lower than what it would be for Zillow or Realtor.com, awesome. You can make more money from it, awesome. As a broker, if you're a broker of record and or let's say you're managing an office and you're kind of curious, well, what kind of benefit do we get out of the agents? Well, if your agents in your office are more successful in getting listings build brand recognition in that marketplace, especially if it's a marketplace that maybe you guys have been trying to get into for such a long time. This is the best tool for you to use in order to find that success that you've been looking for. And if you're an agent who's been looking to find a way in the door of a specific area code or zip code, this is a great way to do it too. It works on a county basis, but there's the odds that you're going to get you're going to get a lead in that particular county are, I would say, very high. That's usually one of the reasons why I tell people to try to invest. I know there's a minimum of what you would need to invest. I don't know the exact number because I'm an affiliate partner, but I'm not an employee of Zbuyer. I'm more of like an independent contractor. But there is a minimum that you'd have to spend. I tell people spend at least $500 to $600 a month. Minimum, because you want more opportunities to talk to more people so that you can see actual true success with the platform itself. I referred an agent from my office to Zbuyer. They had their first listing appointment within, I think, of the first 5 leads that they received. They got a listing appointment, and they actually put the listing up for sale. And so I have on my on this description of this email, or the description of this video, you're going to see my Zillow page link. I am part of a team, but you'll see some of the recorded sales I had before, several of which came from Zbuyer. If you guys are kind of curious as to which ones, let me know. Reach out to me, and I can tell you exactly which ones came from it. I can show you how it came in through my CRM. I use Follow Up Boss as my CRM. I could show you the source that it came from. I could show you the different stages. I could show you the conversations. My goal here ultimately is to make sure that you guys are successful with these leads so that you can continue to build your business. And through staying with Zbuyer, again, I make sure that I'm getting my referral from it. I'm looking to build an entire business where I can help agents to coach them. And this is a great opportunity for both of us. Me as a teaching experience, and for you guys on the other side to learn from generating more listings or using a different lead gen platform that's only going to add to your business and help you grow it. Especially, again, if you want to become an expert in this area, if you want to become someone who lists to last, right? That's the phrase, that the tired old phrase that everyone uses in real estate. If you want to be successful, you have to make sure that you generate listings. Listings will generate you more and more closings. That's it. It's that simple. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, or you're kind of curious to know a little bit more, again, I encourage you guys, reach out to me. I would love to answer any questions. There's full transparency. I didn't want to name the brokerage. I'm with Christie's International Real Estate, just so that you guys know. But I don't want to name them at the beginning, because this has absolutely nothing to do with Christie's. This is my own sort of side venture where, again, I want to coach and help educate real estate agents so that they have more success in converting these leads. I don't work in these areas. These leads are just sitting there. Why not share it with someone else who does work in that area? Have their success, they have their success, they close. Zbuyer gets their money from them closing, or them, or you guys subscribing. I get my referral. It's a win-win-win situation. And even more, who's winning at the end of it? If you get to help a buyer of yours, a client of yours, get into a home, you help the seller get the price they want. It is the best situation to find yourself in. So again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Shoot me an email. My email will be in the description of this video, as well as follow me on social media. I have a sales page called Jiu-Jitsu Salesman. So it's at Jiu-Jitsu Salesman. It's also going to be in the description of the video as well. Reach out to me if you guys have any questions. I would love to answer them. But really, 2023 should be, your focus should be generating more listings so that you can continue to funnel and grow and feed that business structure. Try to get more listings in 2023. That's what I want to help you guys accomplish this year. So reach out to me if you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching.